Hello, and welcome to Marketing Without Bullshit. I'm Hazel Q, your host. I'm here to cut through all of that marketing clutter. I run a marketing agency called The Clever, and I'm happy to be here to help you out today. Why are we called The Clever? So my favorite way to work is called Clever Lazy. Imagine a grid, one of those sort of things, where on one quadrant, you've got a clever worker. On another quadrant, you've got a lame, unclever worker. On another one, you've got a hard worker, and another one, you've got a lazy one. The worst combo you could possibly have, lazy and lame. But if you go clever and lazy, oh man, the best kind of work you could ever do, that you're going to find shortcuts, you're going to be smart, you're going to still get the things done that you need to do. So we are all about clever, lazy here. And in that note, today we are going to kick things off talking about the core of so much of the marketing we talk about, a marketing engine. Now, a marketing engine in 3 easy to digest parts is a way to be found, a way to collect emails, and a way to send emails. Those 3 parts are what make up a marketing engine. We're going to go through a backstory about what this even is, introduce you to my favorite phrase called making the donuts. We're going to break down the marketing engine blueprint into those 3 parts, how to actually do it. And you're going to learn this entire thing is fueled by creativity, community, and consistency. Plus, I'm a big fan of alliteration. So if you've ever felt overwhelmed by marketing advice, you are in the right place. We are making things clear and actionable for you and cutting through all of that bullshit out there. Each episode, we have a downloadable template along with several ChatGPT prompts. You'll see that we're huge fans of AI and ChatGPT in meaningful ways. So check out the website, theclever.io, for all of that. And let's kick things off with all things marketing engine. So I like to think of this as making the donuts. You could start from scratch each time, or you could set up a machine. So imagine having a big, giant engine, but we start off really quite simple. And this engine consists of a way to be found, a way to collect emails, and a way to send emails. And each time you're doing a marketing campaign or a launch or you have an idea, think of that as making donuts. And you could start from scratch each time. And that's fine if you're only making donuts once a year. But I don't know about you all, but yeah, I had to make a lot of donuts in my business. So what I recommend is a machine where it just keeps running and you just feed it and it's fueled by consistency, creativity, community, as we said. The better you do. So let's talk about how we do it and why. Inspired order creates capacity. Structure your marketing not just to run, but to scale and evolve. That is why we are here. I am a very creative person. I know all of you are listening as well. There is no room for creativity if you don't have a baseline functionality. There's nowhere to put your great ideas, nowhere to test to see if they even work. And likely you'll lose interest before you even complete it if you're a creative person like me. The beauty of this engine, having it there gives somewhere for your ideas to go, somewhere for it to build, somewhere for it to, have a testing ground and actually have your ideas see the light of day and not just, you sitting looking at the screen saying, oh, I had that idea. I know you. I'm the same. Every business needs a baseline of health. Just like humans need a healthy heart, in marketing, your engine is that heart. So when I hear people come up and try to do a quick fix, I think of it as, sure, like you could show up to a doctor with a broken arm, but if your heart isn't pumping, you got bigger problems. And this marketing engine is the heart of your business, and it really needs to be working at a bare minimum for you to be able to run anything else. It is consistent way to do business. You'll see people chasing this around right now because the Instagram algorithm doesn't work. Threads exist. There's Twitter is now X, etc. Those are all things that you don't have to chase as much if you have a marketing engine that is your owned audience that believes in what your mission is. Once your engine is running smoothly, There's room for creativity. You're not stuck reinventing the wheel, and you are free to innovate. So let me share a little bit about my story with this. I've been in marketing for a long time. There was a team I was working with several years ago. I was getting into content marketing at the time, which is one of the words for the style of marketing like do we do here. We were like hamsters on a wheel, just lots of effort, no progress, small team, not any budget, and bosses breathing down your neck to just continue to grow with quick fixes. What we did was invest in a marketing engine. And the challenge was you throw around the word invest and nobody wants to stop and take time. So what we did was we're like, well, what is the MVP way we can do this? In the tech world, MVP, minimum viable product. So what is the bare minimum marketing engine, this donut conveyor belt we have? What's the bare minimum it could function? And you know what? It's not too complicated to get it done. So we got it set up in a bare minimum way. And I'm talking a place that, had hundreds of thousands of emails, but didn't have them working in any sort of meaningful way. They were all prior customer emails, that sort of thing. So with building a simple engine, you have a chance to build it into more robust. I think we all get in the challenge of wanting to think we need something so fabulous and huge for launch. But really, to have an engine, you just need a way to be found, a way to send emails, and a way to collect emails. So let's break down those parts into being found. The first cog is the biggest one in the engine. Being found, we also call that awareness if you hear about the funnel. It's about inspiring curiosity, not just showing up. So super important to have repetition. We're going to get into that in just a moment. But also about inspiring curiosity. And those two things are really hand in hand, and they all require a lot of trust. So in this kind of marketing we do here, we call it content marketing. Sometimes we call it community-led growth. You'll hear it called any number of trendy things. I find that it distracts audiences, and we're here not to do it without bullshit, but it's important to know what people are talking about when they say these words. They're generally all talking about the same thing, which is if you have an audience, you can sell them anything. This is the oldest content marketing thing since, the early days of bloggers, proto influencers. This was, there's several books about the idea of build an audience on anything, how to do, backyard swimming pool care, and suddenly you can sell to anybody who has ever been near a homeowner ever. Now, the downside is not only can you sell your product and your audience who actually genuinely cares about those products, if you're unscrupulous, you can sell your whole email list to whoever because everybody knows emails are valuable. Now, the challenge is emails values go down with this because of spam, but it is 2023, about to be 2024, and emails are still incredibly valuable. As we invent more and more ways to communicate, I'm sure there'll be others. Right now, for marketers, emails should be treated as gold. So when we talk about being found, it's a lot of ways of building that audience. And this is why we are about being genuine and not about this sort of spam way that has proliferated quick fixes and growth over time. So I'm not about just having an audience. I would rather have compatriots. Forget about having an audience. Strive for compatriots. It's not about numbers. It's about engagement and alliance. If you have folks that are on the same mission that you are, I don't care what that mission is, making, payroll more efficient or, curing mental health issues. If you have them on your side, man, that is some powerful marketing, and people are going to be eager to give you money, and it's going to feel like an authentic way to grow your business. This isn't, it's about building a community, not just a customer base. It's engaging with your audience, creating content that resonates, and leveraging social proof. Organic marketing is your best friend. A community grows with you, and a customer base just buys from you. So how are the ways that you can be found? Well, branding is super important. This is why we care about brand. And when I say brand, I don't mean just a logo, but it is the logo. It's also your whole brand altogether and what a person sees and takes in. An audience has to see you at least 7 times. That is an antiquated stat. I bet dozens and dozens of times before they are peaked enough to click, because man, there is a lot of content out there. I don't know if you've noticed. Are you clicking on every email in your inbox? I certainly am not, but I'll tell you the ones I know I see show up a lot and ones that I feel like are on brand. And I think that repetition is really, really key. Some ways to make repetition a little bit easier is the marketing engine. It can be burdensome to do so much repetition yourself, but if you build this into the engine, it can feel more natural and you won't end up in that weird loop of like, oh my God, am I repeating myself? In the world of marketing, familiarity breeds recognition, not contempt. Your brand needs to show up repeatedly to make a lasting impact. I'll repeat myself. In the world of marketing, familiarity breeds recognition, not contempt. Your brand needs to show up repeatedly to make a lasting impact. You can simplify to amplify. The clearer your marketing message, the louder it resonates. So you're seeing the connection here. Repetition, the more you repeat, the less annoying it is if it's pretty simple. Obviously, Nike, just do it. Apple, think different. It's not just a slogan, but it's this sort of simplicity that when you can have the introduction to the brand, does it make sense in a simple way and that is memorable. Being found is not about fighting social media algorithms because you have a consistent engine. So you should be running consistently. And we're going to touch on this idea of a growth spiral at the end of this episode. We'll also have a full downloadable blueprint of the marketing engine. Part 2 of the marketing engine is about collecting emails. When collecting emails, think give, ask. Deliver value, then make your sales pitch. This approach is about delivering value 3 times over to build trust, followed by a single, well-placed sales ad. This is the way to grow emails. We'll get into the technical side here in a moment, but give, ask is the way to do it. What are gives? Any number of gives. They could be things from very simple things you've heard of before, like lead magnets. Maybe you have a free cookbook or a free webinar. It could be a happy hour locally with a community. If you're growing a local business, that is a huge give. Events count as 3 gives in and of themselves. If they're well done, people remember them really well. It could be a piece of swag. It could be good advice. It could be engagement on another post, but you have to give before asking. This is true for networking, for anything else, but collecting emails works so well off of give, ask. So don't be asking all the time, but certainly make it easy to give emails. It should be available everywhere. And what do I mean by that? You need a form. Functionally, what I mean when I say collect emails, you should have a website, but in the spirit of having things simple, if you don't have a website or don't have access to change anything on a website, so almost every email marketing tool has a simple form input. Google Forms could work in a pinch. I don't recommend it because if you're serious about your business, you shouldn't be using generic emails. However, you need a way to collect emails. Instagram has tools for this. It is important to start getting those emails. So one way that I did a give recently to get emails was through a survey. So we had people participate in a survey and we collected that via Typeform, which was our survey tool. So we grew several thousand emails that way. When you are getting better at collecting emails, that's what's called conversion rate optimization. So what we're talking about there is conversion rate is how many people come into your site versus how many buy, or versus how many people have seen your thing to take an action. A conversion is each point. So you can measure the percentage of how good your marketing is doing. And when you've heard that term conversion rate optimization, that is making your whole engine, but a lot of times the website and the landing pages and all of that specifically better for conversion rate. The last part is sending emails. Sending emails is about a conversation, not about broadcasting. You want to keep it personal, relevant, and engaging. Here's the thing about sending emails. It takes a little bit of an investment. Usually some marketing tool will cost some sort of money and you'll need your own domain name. If you're already an existing brand, this is all great. Generic email is a telltale sign for I'm not fully into this. Commit to your brand, commit to a proper domain. For tools on how to send emails, man, there are so many of them. If you're doing a newsletter world one, meaning like you're trying to build your audience slowly on newsletters, there are some dedicated to just that. Those ones you've heard of, maybe Substack or Beehive. I like those. I don't find they work as well for e-commerce type things. Personally, I've been using ConvertKit quite a bit, and it works really well to do lots of things sort of all in one. I know some other of these course brands are starting to roll out their own emails. It doesn't matter too much. You can always change email providers if you needed to in the spirit of just getting it up and running. You need something to send, and you need it to send from your own domain name. Email marketing works in that same way of give, ask. Don't be spamming, but show up with relevant info. And don't ask all the time, but make it easy when they do want to purchase. Marketing is about being there to solve problems at the relevant moments. Build relationships with your email, not just databases. Every email and every interaction should add value and deepen connection. This whole thing is fueled by consistency, creativity, community. I like to visualize marketing funnel really as a spiral and imagine lots of points all along this spiral. Each point is a chance to connect with your audience. It's not about being everywhere, it's about being where it matters consistently. So when you have all these spiral with the touch points, imagine this spiral is sort of a dynamic journey where your message gets reinforced at every turn through varied channels like Instagram, emails, community forums. It works by creating a series of touch points that are strategically placed where your audience naturally congregates, be it online or offline. What's cool though, is that you can amplify it by connecting with different platforms and other partnerships and community who can amplify your message. So imagine that you are selling dog collars and you want to connect, lots of pet owners also have young kids. So you connect with a baby company and get them. There's lots of connections that people don't even think of right away, but it could also be more obvious ones. Maybe you sell dog collars and connect with the local vet and get on their mailing list or target them on ads, etc. But that collaboration is key to enhancing all of this. That's what we call community. This whole thing fueled by consistency, creativity, and community. Collaborate, don't isolate. Partnerships and networks can amplify your message in ways you cannot achieve alone. So what did we cover? The 3 parts of your marketing engine: be found, collect emails, send emails. Constantly tweak your marketing engine. Markets evolve, trends shift, stay agile, stay relevant, and stay ahead. Remember, marketing doesn't have to be complicated. Keep it clear and simple, and you'll win the race. I am Hazel Q. This is Marketing Without Bullshit. If you have any questions or anything, subscribe, give us a note, drop me a line. I am an incredibly easy person to find, and I look forward to seeing you all more soon.